Presence is the silent language of power. Before a single word escapes your mouth, people have already made judgments about who you are, what you stand for, and whether you are someone worth listening to. Presence is not about size, loudness, or trying to dominate a room. True presence is quiet strength, the calm, grounded energy that says, "I am here, and I am ready." It's the invisible aura that communicates leadership without demanding it. When you develop presence, you stop chasing attention and start attracting it. Every great leader understands this. Before you can influence others, you must first master yourself. Presence begins internally, long before it ever becomes external. It starts with the awareness of your own energy. How you breathe, how you stand, how you enter a space. These subtle cues tell the world what to expect from you. If you walk into a room, hurried, tense, distracted, people sense it immediately. If you enter calm, upright, and collected, people feel that too. The energy you carry announces you before your words ever do. To cultivate a commanding presence, learn to be still. Stillness is not weakness. It is power under control. The world moves fast, people rush, voices overlap, and chaos becomes the norm. But when you can stay centered while everything around you is spinning, you become magnetic. People are drawn to those who remain calm under pressure, because calmness breeds confidence. When others panic and you remain composed, they instinctively trust your leadership. They look to you not because you shouted the loudest, but because you stood the strongest. Posture plays a vital role in your presence. The way you hold your body shapes how you feel inside and how others respond to you. Straighten your back, relax your shoulders, lift your chin slightly, and breathe deeply. These small physical adjustments have a profound psychological impact. When your body is aligned, your mind follows. Good posture sends a signal to your subconscious. I am capable. I am confident. I belong here. And when your subconscious believes that, others do too. People mirror the energy they receive. If you project uncertainty, they will doubt you. If you project steadiness, they will lean on you. Your voice is another instrument of presence. You don't need a booming or dramatic tone to command respect. You need clarity, rhythm, and intention. Speak slowly, not in haste. Allow pauses between your thoughts. Silence, when used wisely, is powerful. It gives weight to your words and lets others feel your conviction. Rushed voice sounds nervous, but a measured voice sounds sure. And people follow those who sound sure. When you speak, imagine your words carrying energy, not to impress, but to express conviction and purpose. Eye contact anchors presence. It's not about staring someone down or trying to intimidate them. It's about connection. When you look into someone's eyes with calm confidence, you communicate authenticity. You say without words, I see you, and I'm present with you. That kind of connection creates trust. People are more likely to follow leaders who truly see them, who are not distracted or lost in their own noise. So, when you speak to others, put down the phone, square your shoulders, and give them the gift of your full attention. Presence also requires emotional control. When your emotions fluctuate wildly, people perceive instability. But when you can hold steady, even in disagreement, disappointment, or conflict, your credibility rises. Leadership presence isn't about pretending you have no feelings. It's about managing those feelings with maturity. You acknowledge frustration without letting it dictate your tone. You feel disappointment but choose patience over reaction. The calm leader isn't the one who never feels anger. It's the one who feels it, understands it, and channels it constructively. Another part of presence is timing. Learn when to speak and when to listen. Some of the most powerful moments in leadership come from silence. When you give others the space to express themselves fully, you earn their respect. People feel valued when they are heard, and that sense of being seen gives you greater influence. Listening is not a passive act. It's an active form of leadership. It tells people you are confident enough not to dominate every moment. Presence grows with consistency. You cannot fake it for long. The goal is not to perform confidence, but to become it. That means practicing awareness every day. How you enter a room, how you shake hands, how you respond under pressure. Over time, this becomes natural. You will find that your voice steadies, your body aligns, and your energy feels grounded. Others will begin to look toward you instinctively when situations feel uncertain. And understand this. Presence is not arrogance. Arrogance repels, presence attracts. Arrogance shouts, "Look at me." Presence whispers, "I'm here if you need me." The first feeds insecurity. The second radiates peace. People are not drawn to those who take up space with ego, but to those who fill space with calm assurance. When your confidence is rooted in humility, it becomes grace. Presence is also spiritual. It's knowing that you carry something bigger than yourself. A purpose, a mission, a light. When you operate from that awareness, you don't need to prove anything. You don't need to compete or compare. You simply show up fully as yourself. That kind of authenticity cannot be faked. It commands respect not because you demand it, but because your truth demands it for you. So, presence is not just about posture or tone. It's about alignment. Your body, mind, and spirit working together in harmony. When they align, you move with quiet authority. When they are disconnected, you stumble. Every great leader, every person of influence, began by mastering the simple act of showing up fully. Grounded, calm, and ready. That is the essence of presence. Integrity is the foundation of lasting influence. It's the invisible backbone of every great leader, and the silent force that holds your reputation together. When the storms of life try to shake it apart, you can be talented, charismatic, and persuasive, but without integrity, those gifts crumble the moment they're tested. Integrity is not about perfection. It's about consistency. Being the same person when no one is watching as you are, when everyone's eyes are on you. It's about aligning your words, your actions, and your values so tightly that they move as one. People might be impressed by charm for a moment, but they are changed by character over time. When people sense that you are genuine, that you mean what you say and say what you mean, their guard drops. They trust you. And trust is the currency of influence. You can't buy it, you can't fake it, and once you lose it, it's a long road to earn it back. Integrity is what allows your influence to endure long after the applause fades. It's the difference between having followers for a season and having impact for a lifetime. Integrity begins with the little things. The promises you make and the ones you keep, the tasks you say you'll complete, and the effort you actually give. When you commit to something, do it with excellence. Not because someone is checking on you, but because it's who you are. Hey, every small act of honesty builds a foundation of credibility. When people know that your yes means yes and your no means no, they stop questioning your motives. They begin to see you as dependable. And dependability is the heartbeat of trust. Integrity is tested most when it's inconvenient. It's easy to be truthful when it costs nothing, but real integrity shows up when being honest might lose you a deal, when doing the right thing might delay your success, when standing for your values might isolate you from the crowd. Those are the moments that define your legacy. Anyone can act right when the spotlight is bright, but true leaders act right even in the shadows. When your private choices honor your public words, your influence gains a quiet strength that cannot be shaken. The temptation to cut corners or bend the truth often comes disguised as opportunity. It whispers, "No one will notice," or "It's just this once." But every time you trade integrity for convenience, you weaken the foundation beneath your own feet. You might gain something temporary, a deal, a title, an advantage, but you lose something eternal: credibility. And credibility is the oxygen of leadership. Without it, your influence suffocates. Integrity doesn't mean you'll never make mistakes. Everyone stumbles. But integrity is what you do after the stumble. It's owning up, taking responsibility, and making things right. People don't expect perfection. They expect honesty. When you can say, "I was wrong, and I'm sorry," it doesn't make you weaker. It makes you trustworthy. A person who hides their flaws can't be trusted. But one who acknowledges them becomes human, relatable, and real. Integrity transforms mistakes into lessons and vulnerability into strength. Another powerful aspect of integrity is alignment, the unity between your inner beliefs and outer behavior. When your actions match your values, you move through life with peace. You don't have to remember your lies or maintain a mask. There's a lightness that comes from living truthfully. But when you say one thing and do another, when you promise loyalty but practice deceit, that inner dissonance eats away at your confidence. You begin to second-guess yourself because, deep down, you know you're off balance. Integrity restores that balance. It makes you whole, solid, and unshakable from within. Integrity also inspires others. When people see you stand firm in honesty, it gives them permission to do the same. Your example becomes a quiet revolution. In a world that often celebrates shortcuts and self-interest, being a person of integrity is an act of courage, and courage is contagious. Your steadfastness reminds others that doing the right thing is still the right thing, even when it's not the easiest path. Influence built on integrity multiplies because it awakens something good in those around you. Integrity is not only about how you treat people publicly, but also how you speak about them privately. The words you use when someone isn't in the room reveal the truth about your character. When you speak with respect, even about those who may not deserve it, you elevate yourself. Integrity doesn't gossip. It doesn't tear down to feel taller. It lifts others because it's secure in its own worth. When people realize that their names are safe in your mouth, they begin to trust your heart. Consistency is another pillar of integrity. A person who shifts their values depending on who they're with can't be relied on. Consistency builds stability, and stability builds trust. It's not about being stubborn or rigid, but about being anchored in principle. People should know what to expect from you. Not because you're predictable, but because you're dependable. Whether you're talking to a CEO or a janitor, your respect, humility, and honesty should remain the same. That kind of constancy makes people feel safe around you, and safety breeds loyalty. Integrity also demands humility. It's realizing that the truth is bigger than your ego. It's choosing to be transparent, even when it exposes your imperfections. Humility and integrity walk hand in hand because both are rooted in authenticity. You don't have to inflate your image to earn admiration. You don't have to hide your fears to appear strong. People follow realness, not rehearsed perfection. When you live from a place of truth, and your confidence becomes genuine, your influence becomes pure, and your legacy becomes untouchable. Integrity means that who you are behind closed doors matters as much as who you appear to be on the stage. It means treating the unseen moments with the same care as the visible ones. When you lead with integrity, you sleep peacefully at night because your conscience is clean. You don't carry the weight of deception or the burden of pretending. That peace radiates in your demeanor, in your voice, in the way people feel when they're around you. They sense your sincerity, and that sincerity builds bridges that no manipulation ever could. Integrity always wins in the long run. It might not move as fast as deceit, but it moves stronger and farther. Influence that is born from honesty can weather time, criticism, and challenge because it's rooted in truth. Boundaries and confidence walk side by side, forming the invisible fence that protects your peace, your purpose, and your power. Without boundaries, your confidence leaks away. Without confidence, your boundaries crumble. Together, they create the kind of inner strength that commands respect without ever demanding it. People sense when you have a solid core, when you know who you are and what you stand for, and they respond to it instinctively. They may not always agree with you, but they will respect you because your energy communicates self-respect. Boundaries are not walls meant to keep others out. They are gates meant to keep your values in. They define where you end and where someone else begins. When you have clear boundaries, you are not rude or cold. You are simply rooted. You understand that your time, your energy, and your attention are sacred resources. You give them freely, but you give them with intention. The moment you learn to say no with grace, you begin to take your power back. Saying no is not rejection. It is direction. It tells the world that you value your purpose enough not to waste it. Confidence, on the other hand, is the posture of someone who knows they belong. It doesn't shout or boast. It stands firm and unbothered. Confidence is quiet certainty. The belief that you have something meaningful to offer, and that you don't need to prove it. It is the deep inner knowing that you are enough, without comparison, without apology. When you combine confidence with clear boundaries, your life gains a rhythm of peace. You stop trying to please everyone, and you start leading yourself. People respect leaders who lead themselves well. Boundaries are an act of self-love and self-respect. When you constantly say yes to everyone else, you slowly say no to yourself. You burn out, lose focus, and begin to resent the very people you tried to help. But when you set healthy limits, you protect your capacity to give authentically. Boundaries are not selfish, they are wise. They ensure that your giving comes from abundance, not exhaustion. A confident person understands that saying no is not about withholding love. It's about preserving it so it can last longer and reach further. Confidence grows when your actions align with your convictions. Every time you stand up for yourself, every time you honor your boundaries, you reinforce the belief that you are worthy of respect. Confidence isn't something you're born with. It's something you build. And you build it through repetition. By choosing to show up for yourself again and again, even when it's uncomfortable. The first time you say no to something that violates your peace, your voice may tremble, but the second time it trembles less. And over time it steadies. You begin to trust your own strength. Many people struggle with boundaries because they fear rejection, and they worry that saying no will make others love them less or leave them altogether. But in truth, boundaries reveal who truly values you. Those who respect you will understand and even admire your clarity. Those who only wanted to take advantage will fall away, and their absence will make room for relationships built on mutual respect. Boundaries don't push the right people away. They filter the wrong ones out. Confidence is the soil where boundaries grow. When you believe in your worth, you no longer seek constant validation. You stop measuring your value by how much you do for others or how often you're approved of. You begin to move from a place of security, not scarcity. That's why confident people can say no without guilt and yes without fear. They trust their own discernment. They know their worth isn't up for negotiation. And that certainty becomes magnetic. It draws in people who operate at the same frequency of strength and peace. To cultivate this kind of confidence, you must first become comfortable with solitude. When you can sit with yourself in silence and not feel the need to escape, you begin to discover who you really are. That self-awareness becomes your anchor. From it, you learn what you need, what you value, and what you will no longer tolerate. Boundaries are born from that awareness. You cannot protect what you haven't defined. The more clearly you know yourself, the more confidently